I'm gonna make it in.
I'll make it in. Hurt my lower back. Oops. Whew.
Hey, honey.
Hi.
Here we go.
What's going on? It was just...
It was the hoodie was over the microphone.
Ah.
And I know how particular you are about microphones, so I just wanted to make sure it was okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
It's been a while.
It has.
We took another unplanned break.
3 days.
Yeah.
It was, Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy belated Thanksgiving.
And then Black Friday was another special day.
I mean, Black Friday wasn't special.
The day.
Oh, yeah.
Date.
Yeah, no.
No? Your birthday's not special?
No, not this one wasn't.
Oh.
I was not in the mood for a birthday.
He was not.
Nope.
He didn't want to do much.
Nope.
But we did visit our friend Sean.
Yeah.
Said hello. Drove out there and spent a little time since we weren't able to spend Thanksgiving with them.
Yeah, so on Thanksgiving, we ended up going to our neighbors just to the north of us. So it was
Two sets of neighbors.
two neighbors and then a couple other people that live in the general area that we've never met before. Well,
One we had, two
one
we had.
yeah. Really good food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the company, enjoyed the food. It was a nice evening. So we thought maybe we were gonna head over to Sean's early in the day and then head back here for dinner with the neighbors, but we decided not to do that because it would have been a lot of driving.
Yeah, and it was too close. Like the time frames were too close together to make it really value added for us, to be able to spend more than an hour at Sean's. So we wanted to actually be able to spend some quality time. So
Yeah, so instead we just did a little bit of work in and around the house on early Thanksgiving. I think I finished... Did I finish sanding
Yeah.
on things? Yeah, I did. I finished sanding the boards for the... our heater just turned off. Whoa, it's really loud now. No, I'm talking loud. I mean, just finished sanding the boards for the tongue and groove ceiling. And then we went up to the neighbors, spent a couple hours there.
yeah, I baked some biscuits and some rolls. Took those up there. I guess prepped them, baked them up there because they have regular ovens. All I have access to right now is my RV oven. And it just takes forever to try to bake anything in there. So it's almost like an easy bake oven sometimes, I feel. That's kind of how I feel about it. Everything takes like 3 times as long, and if you're not super careful and rotating it constantly, it burns on the bottom.
Yeah, and it's so small you can only do small batches too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just, everything just takes so much longer. So.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then Friday was, well, let's back up here, because Friday we did something, but it really started on Wednesday evening,
Okay.
right?
I don't know what you're going with here.
The laptops.
Okay.
Yeah, so Wednesday evening, I think that was after we were done recording. Did we record Wednesday?
No.
Okay. So we took Wednesday, yeah.
Maybe we did. Yeah.
Oh,
Monday,
we
Tuesday
went into town Wednesday, so we didn't record. That's why we didn't record Wednesday. So I ended up heading up to Johnson City to the Best Buy up there because I wanted to look at some laptops that were on sale for Black Friday. And that's because we need new laptops. When I was in Portland, I bought 2 new laptops, and I ended up buying 2 Apple laptops, MacBook Air laptops. And they're really nice laptops, but both Katie and I aren't really that proficient in the Apple world because we've been using PCs the majority of our lives. More so on my end because I used to do just tech work and stuff with PCs, so I'm very familiar with PCs with Windows. But I wanted to give the Macs a try because they were a really good price point, They're good at video editing, which is the primary purpose of our laptops. And when I was in Portland, I couldn't find a reasonably priced Windows laptop with good performance. So I bought the Macs. Don't like the Macs, so headed to Best Buy in Johnson City Wednesday to go physically touch the computers and see how they felt and performed before I purchased. And we drove an hour and a half-ish to the Best Buy in Knoxville on Friday, Black Friday, to pick those up, and then stopped, like Katie said, stopped at Sean's, and we were there for 45 minutes, an hour, just a quick stop, because we still had another hour and a half drive back home.
So Saturday, we started staining the tongue and groove for the ceilings.
Yep.
Because you had finished sanding them.
Yeah, so we spent
I
Saturday.
guess that's what it was. Did we do that? We went and picked out a stain on, I guess,
I think.
Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
That's when we went to town, was to get stain.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did a whole bunch of stuff on Wednesday.
Yeah. I was trying to remember, like, it's been we've done a lot this weekend. I just was trying to remember when we did what.
basically a 5-day weekend for us.
It was pretty much. So yeah, so we had picked up the stain that we liked, and we had taken our actual boards that Nate had sanded and had them stain a couple of the colors that we had liked from the ones we had brought home previously, the two that Nate and I liked, and then we picked two additional colors, because when they stained them on the sanded wood that we looked at, that we own, it looked completely different than the samples that we had taken home just a couple days before that with those same stains.
Right.
And so we were like, oh, I'm not sure if we like these two colors as much as we did originally. And so, and we even had that other board there, and you could tell how different it was, and we brought the flooring as well. And so we ended up going back with the one original one that we had liked, one of the original ones, the special walnut, and got a gallon of that, and then brought that home. And then of course we didn't start staining until we were ready to, which was Saturday. And we finished staining on Sunday. Yeah,
we had a pretty good system where I would place Katie would place the board down. She'd grit it from the new pile. I would stain, she would wipe off, and then I would take the board, move it to the completed pile while she's grabbing a new board, put it on, and we just kept repeating that process. So we were able to do half of the 66 boards Saturday afternoon, and then half on Sunday afternoon. We could have done it longer, but
I was freezing.
It was cold. You guys probably are having similar weather, but it got really cold really quick. And we had to keep the doors open for ventilation because it's an oil-based stain instead of the water.
The fumes were pretty strong.
Yeah, so we could only do it for a couple hours, and plus the bench was just a right height to where we're kind of slightly bending over, so our backs were kind of starting to bother us after a couple hours of it. Yeah, so we got the boards all stained, and they've been drying out. And then today, so we finished staining yesterday, right? So then today, being Monday, I started putting the boards up. And I say that very loosely.
Started the process of putting the boards up.
Right, and I say that very loosely. I thought I had a game plan of how I was going to be able to put the boards up by myself. Turns out it was not viable option, and I was really struggling, and I'm trying to get the very first row in, and that row has to be really straight. And the first row, it's like all the other rows, I can put the groove over the tongue so it'll hold that in place while I'm nailing the the tongue in, but with the first row, there's nothing holding it in place at all. And I'm trying to do it by myself. The first board was simple because it's only 24 inches, 26 inches. The next board was 10 feet, and that was much harder to do by myself, and I struggled. I couldn't do it, so I gave up. So I'm either have to come up with a different system on putting these boards up, or I'm gonna have to wait for help. Yeah, so yeah. So that's kind of where we are, huh?
For the house stuff, yeah. And then we wanted to process some more chickens this weekend, but it was just too cold. It was down into the 20s and highs of 30s on the day that we wanted to. We even got snow flurries yesterday, so it was definitely chilly, and it's just too cold to be processing birds at that temperature. You're soaking wet, you're cold anyway. I mean, it's good, no flies and whatnot, but
Right.
it's just really, really trying on your hands, and you just get so cold when you're trying to maneuver and cut and all of that. So we're hoping for maybe a 40-degree day or a 50-degree day, and then that I think we'd be able to do some then.
Yeah, we got done through 2 batches of basically 20, so about 40 birds. We have about that many remaining, maybe a little bit more. And they're up by the pond. They're staying pretty contained. They're not quite as...
They don't get loose like the other ones were.
Yeah, so feeling a little bit better, a little bit less chaotic around here. So I guess it's not quite a priority, and plus I really want to focus on the house, but if I can't do it by myself and I need help, then maybe that'll give me a few days to actually work on the processing the rest of the roosters while I wait for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And then, yeah, I think I'm looking at the golden girls out the window. They're being stubborn little ewes.
Yeah, the sheep are still free ranging. There's still some grass for them to eat. And then we found a source for some hay. Just one of our neighbors cuts his own hay for his cows, and he said he would sell us a couple of his round bales, which we probably just need about 2.
Yeah, we're thinking 2 round bales should last us all winter. We only have 3 ewes, so it shouldn't be that terribly much.
Yeah, so when I can head up there with the tractor and grab them, then I can put them in their winter paddock, and that's where they can stay. So they'll be less, well, they won't be free ranging. And then the last thing to get non-free ranging are the shenanigans.
The other thing I'm looking at out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the sheep, one thing it's adorable, and it's also very, very frustrating. Since we've taught them to come to us with grain and like shaking of the little seed, that's also what we use to feed, or what I use to feed the chickens and going around. So when I'm on the trike with the bag of food and trying to feed the chickens, the sheep will run after me, which is adorable. And if we can get it on video, we'll try to, because it's so stinking cute. But then you stop to feed the chickens, and their head goes straight into the bag. So every time you make a scoop, you have to roll up the bag and try to, get it away from them, and then feed the chickens. And if you try to put it in a big pile, or you put it in a bowl for those, like the geese, the quackheads up on the hill or anything like that, the sheep will jump the fence and go into it and try to start eating the food. So then you have to try to remove the bowl before the sheep get to it. And it's just so frustrating. So it just makes chores even more difficult when it's cold, and there's already a lot of chores to do. So, like I said, it's adorable, but super frustrating. Yeah. So I try to wait and I'll do chores on one half of the property when I know they're up by the pond, and then when they come down here, I try to go up and do the pond chores, as long as they don't hear the bag and see me going.
Yep.
But if
as soon as I hear that bag,
game over. It's so cute though, because they'll like jump and leap behind you and do their excited little, it's so cute. But man, you see them coming and you're laughing, and you're also like, no, this is going to be so tough. Oh man. And then the shenanigans are still laying eggs. There's 2 of them that are laying eggs?
Yep.
So we're getting between 1 and 2 eggs every day. Almost all of our hens are molting, so of like the 50 laying hens that we have, we're maybe getting like 3 or 4 eggs a day, which is just insane to think about.
Yeah.
But they're, it's their time of year to rest, so we're gonna let them rest and let them get through their molt, and then we'll probably in a couple more weeks we'll start probably getting eggs a little bit more regularly, because I do have some that just are starting to lay, and some pullets that will be laying within about a month or two. So
that'll be nice.
Yeah, so we shouldn't be out, like we're not out of eggs, we just don't have the bounty to giveth to our neighbors and to like we had been for the rest of the, for probably
the majority of the year.
6 or 8 months, get them hooked, and then it's like, sorry.
Yep.
they're on
they're on break.
They're on
on holiday.
PTO.
Yeah.
Leave of absence. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to make one clarification on the last video that we did make. I didn't talk about it very much, but the company that I work for just went through some layoffs, and I was talking about that I was sad because quite a few friends and coworkers of mine were actually affected. I personally was not. I am still employed. I'm still working for the company. However, my statement of work has changed slightly during the foreseeable future, probably the next 30 to 60 days. I'll be supporting the folks who were laid off. So I will be helping them from an HR capacity, ensuring that they have all of the information that they need so that they can, complete all of the steps and requirements so that they can get their benefits. So it's kind of a very, very different statement of work for me than what I'm typically used to doing. It won't be my normal project management stuff. It'll be much more HR generalist type, what I used to do.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Sad, but thankful.
Yeah. It's one of those where I found out only a couple days before that I personally was not affected. So I was waiting with everyone else to hear.
Yeah.
So it's just been a very emotional time dealing with that, and Nate and I trying to figure out what are we going to do if that happens. How are we going to pay our mortgage and pay for the animals? Do we, what changes will we need to make? How can we supplement income? What can we reduce or cut down on? And so, having a lot of those conversations behind the scenes, and, while, of course, trying to remain positive and optimistic that I was going to be okay. And, but yeah, it's still just really hard, even, not being affected, but having, supporting those who were.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
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 Anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a very, very busy. We did a lot.
Yeah.
Whether it was running errands or getting supplies to get ready for stuff, or just normal chores.
Yeah.
But we did make progress on the house, which is good.
Yep. We're probably going to be doing a lot more sitting on the couch talking now that it's cold. Yeah, because the days are getting dark quick, and so by the time she's done with work and I'm wrapping up, it's already dark outside, cold outside, and so won't be as many walk through the woods kind of stuff. We may get those occasionally if you get off work early or something, but
or on the day, if I'm not working.
Yeah, but we'll continue recording these just from the couch.
or inside the house or something.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep it interesting.
Yeah, excuse me. Oh.
Yep.
All right, with that note, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.